Okay guys, so we're set up here in a Swift playground and we're talking subscripts. Now, subscripts are typically going to give us an easier way to set and or access the member elements of things like collections, lists, or sequences. You're going to be familiar with some subscripts when you do things like access array values by index or dictionary values by keys. We're using subscripts there. And when we define our own custom subscripts, we're free to pretty much use them any way that we feel is appropriate for our applications. So let's jump in here and start creating some subscripts. To get us started, I'm going to create a structure here that I'm calling power calculator that's going to allow us to calculate powers or exponents. You can see I have one constant here, which is a double that I'm calling base, and I'm actually going to use a subscript to allow me to provide a variable value that my base should be raised to, and then we're going to return that. So how are we going to do this? We're going to use the subscript keyword first of all, and subscripts can have getters and setters. So I'm going to show you what the full syntax looks like. So using that subscript keyword here, you can see I can define my subscript to accept any number of parameters of any types. In this instance, we're taking one double. We're calling it raise power. And I can also allow my subscript to return any type. Here, we're going to be returning a double. So the getter for this subscript is defined by using this get keyword and then adding my logic inside of a pair of curly braces. You can see all I'm doing in here is using the built-in POW or power function of Swift, passing in my base and then the power to be raised, the raised power, the parameter that was passed in. So that's our getter in this particular power calculator struct. I also have here, just for clarity's sake or completeness sake, what a setter would look like. As you can see, we don't have any real reason to set, but if you did need to set, this is where you would put that. For instance, if we were working with a dictionary, we know we can use subscripts to set dictionary values, so a dictionary would have more going on in the set section. But anyway, this is our first cut at a custom subscript. Let's go ahead and attempt to use it. I'm going to create a constant here of type power calculator. You can see I'm setting my base as 3. So now if I want to see what 3 raised to the power 4 is, I can use my subscript setup by calling my instance my power cal and then passing in square brackets my value. This 4 is going to be passed into my subscript as raised power.